everyone, and welcome to the 30-Day Summit, where Russell Brunson has brought together a collection of his top 2 Comma Club and 8-figure award winners to share with you how they would literally survive and begin to rebuild their business in just 30 days if they lost it all. My name is Bailey Richard, and I'm delighted now to be speaking with Trey Lewellen. Trey's entrepreneurial journey took off in 2012 after working several years at the job he thought that he wanted. He quickly shifted from working for someone else to becoming an entrepreneur when he was inspired by a successful businessman to create his own wealth. The success in Trey's sales career made him passionate about teaching others how to achieve their definition of success, and his own coaching business, the Trey Lewellen Mastermind, was born. He began to share with others the lessons, tips, and tricks he learned from his own experience and research to help them build their own long-term, sustainable online businesses. Trey, welcome to the summit.
What's going on, Bailey? Excited to be here. Let's rock and roll today.
Very excited to have you. So you call your 30-day plan the path to launching a reactive startup, which is a phrase that I believe you've coined. So what is that? And could you give us a high-level overview of what we'll be doing in the next 30 days?
Absolutely. So the Reactive Startup that name was actually born from when I was reading one of Jay Abraham's books where he said, I think the book was Getting Everything You Can Out of Everything You Got. And inside one of those chapters was this piece where you actually take 2 different businesses, right? Like you go understand like a real estate business, and then you have e-commerce, totally different. But when you put the business practices together, so you use strategies and techniques in a real estate business, and you apply them to the e-com world, you can create what Jay Abraham says is an atomic bomb of business. So I didn't want to use his term, so I want to come up with something different, which came to be reactive. So something that you're able to take a little piece here, and this piece here, put it all together, and it becomes reactive and explosive and just like blows up. It's amazing. So that's kind of where reactive came. And then the startup was obviously this is, hey, day 0. I don't have a name. I don't have a title. I don't have any money. Like I got nothing. I got no paper. So how do I start, right? Where do I begin? And I don't have an authority. Like I don't have any superpowers, nothing. So that's where reactive startup came to play.
Okay, fantastic. So let's start at the very beginning, week 1. After taking some steps to get some initial money to work with, like canceling all your paid subscriptions to things like Netflix and the gym, etc., you say you'd go to the bookstore and you would buy a ton of magazines in your chosen niche. What in the world are you doing with all those magazines?
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal is I go after, there's product approach and then there's market approach. Okay, that's something that we teach a lot. In the product approach is where people say, oh man, you should check out this expo marker. Like I absolutely love expo markers. They're absolutely amazing and they're fun. And like everybody's going to buy this. And so I'm going to go sell this. I'm going to go buy 1,000 of these. And then I have city inventory in my drop and ship or pack and ship place. And like they just sit there because I thought it was cool. And that's one of the biggest lessons I learned was when I think it's cool, no one else really thinks it's cool. And so it doesn't really sell much. Or versus like a market first approach. All right. The market first approach is going out and surveying and asking like, what would you look for? What would you buying? What are you buying before? What are you buying right now? What are you buying later? Like what's on your wish list? And a really cool example of that is like a parade. So like, for instance, the July parade or the St. Patrick's parade or the Christmas parade or Thanksgiving parade. Like there's always a parade going on. And the coolest piece about that is you don't have to create the traffic. You know the people are going to show up. You don't have to organize it. You don't have to put any funds to it. But what you can do is you can get in front of a parade. And when you can do that, that's big. That's volume because you didn't spend any money doing that. And that's exactly where these 30 days come into play is because we are going to get in front of the parade. We're going to sell a product that they want, they're already buying, and make money. That's how we're going to do it.
Okay, so specifically in the 30-day plan, you say that after you grab those magazines, then you're going to identify those products by checking out the ads, even going so far as to cut them out, paste them on your wall, and see which ones are actually repeating. So what are some of the next steps after you've identified those products that keep repeating themselves in these magazines?
Well, I think it'd actually be really cool if I walked you through that process.
Sure, go for it.
I understands it correctly. Because a lot of people are like, what? Are you serious? Like you go to Barnes & Noble. Like we still go to Barnes & Noble probably once a quarter just to kind of follow up on things. So starting front, right, I will go and grab magazines, something that I'm in love with, something that I'm passionate about. So if I go grab all the magazines about whiskey, or all the magazines about cigars, or all the magazines about watches, or in our space, it's survival. So we do the guns and ammo in our business. Or maybe it's gardening, or maybe it's, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever. I'll go and grab those magazines. In fact, here's what we'll do is we actually have, let me show you this. So you think this is crazy, but we actually do this. So we'll go grab all the magazines. So these are all of our magazines that come into play. So what we do is we look for all the magazines concerning our niches. So it's amazing. It's a big stack and it's pretty heavy. So what we do is we go out and I'm looking through those magazines, okay? And I'm looking, okay, what products are in here? All right, what products are these people selling? What people are they putting money into? And then I do a really cool thing, is I go in back and I call this magazine. Usually there's like a little postcard in here. And I'll call that number and say, hey, I'm looking at advertising in your magazine in a few months. And I was just curious I was curious on how many magazines I could get from your back issues. So some magazines, they're once a month magazines. Some magazines are quarter magazines. Some magazines are bi-monthly. So I'll ask them for the last 12 months of their back issues. And normally they'll send it to you for free. They'll just charge you shipping because they're not really selling those magazines anymore. They've just got them stockpiled. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for all of the same type of offers. So I'm looking for one company selling a typical item, okay? And then I'm cutting all those out. So all these magazines, they start to look like Swiss cheese. And because I've cut all the ads out. And what I do is I take those ads, okay, and I go and I'll put them on a poster board. So as you can see, what we'll do is like this is one from Garden and Guns. And we'll take these ads, and I'm looking at, okay, which one of these ads are in the magazine continuous, keep going, because that company is spending a ton of money to put their product in that magazine. So then I can see, okay, so in this magazine, I can look and see, wow, these guys are selling bags. Okay, we can sell those. These guys are selling, well, that's interesting. These guys are selling some sort of cooking wear, wildlife workshop, fire tools. That's fun. Or dog collars, interesting enough, apparel, green eggs, so barbecue grills, workbenches, money clips of all things, steak knives, even events and experiences is what they're selling. So I can go and see if they're willing to spend this type of money in a magazine, okay, then I probably can go and spend this money on a product or see what they're buying currently, okay? So that's my first biggest kind of research that I'm doing is who's advertising, who's putting the big bucks out, who are the big boys with the big money, big pockets, and how do I get a hold of them, all right? So that's what, and what are they selling to their audience currently? Because someone who's selling in a magazine most likely is not selling direct mail. They're not selling in other avenues such as Facebook or Instagram or other sales channels or anything like that. So that's kind of what we're going to get into.
Okay, yeah. So why don't you, if you wouldn't mind, just continue telling us what you would do after you've identified, some of these major products then.
Okay, so once you know what products here, so there's a lot of things going on, right? So the first piece of the chapters is to go and do the research and pick a niche, something that you love and that you would entertain, because this is going to be your baby. Like this is what you're going to grow up on. That's how we look at it anyways. Whereas, we don't have any money. That's the whole deal, right? We don't have any money. We don't have an authority figure. We don't have a face. But the cool thing about what I'm teaching you is this isn't made up. Like, as you can see, we do this on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, and we keep doing it, right? It's our research. This is how we come up with new products, new things that are entering the market. And the thing is we don't have to spend any money. We're at no risk. Everybody else is putting out the risk, okay? Now, the cool piece about this is after I do all this research, what I'm going to do is I don't have any assets, okay? I've started with nothing, especially people watching this right now. So you have to create an asset. With everything going on right now, the biggest asset that I've seen is some sort of list, some sort of database. Because with a database, you control that database. You control when they hear from you. You control when they receive an email from you, when they receive a text message from you, when they get a phone call from you, all that, right? A direct mail piece. Our biggest thing, though, is how about we send them an email because that's the cheapest. That's the most inexpensive way, but also it's very productive way of getting a hold of the clientele. So what we'll do is that costs money, though. If I would go to a social media or if I would go to Google or if I would go wherever, depending on when you're watching this, right, whatever's working now, it's going to cost you money. And I call that brute force. Like we are putting funds together to make sure that we can make ends meet, to get leads, to get emails, to get some sort of data collection coming in, all right? So I'm doing the total opposite. I'm looking at these guys. I'm saying, whoa, you guys have already spent the money. You are already doing brute force. So what if I was able to get in front of this parade and have them bring in their own emails to a table? So it's like these guys have already spent money, tons of money. Magazines aren't cheap. To get leads, to get buyers, to come into their database, okay? And what if I was able to create some sort of pool or some sort of congregation or community where I go and link up, I become the middleman. So I call this guy with apparel, I call this guy with dog collars, I call this guy that's selling bags, and I say, hey, I'm doing this really cool thing. It's a joint venture deal. And it's always a great phone call. We always just call them up because we say, hey, we want you to push your email list. Like, how many people are on your email list? They'll say, oh, 30,000 people or 100,000 people or 1 million people. Like, oh, this is huge. It's awesome. That's really cool. How many times do you send them an email? And usually they're like, oh, maybe once or twice a month, or very, very seldom, right? Nothing really like big. I'm like, that's fantastic. So what we'd like to do is, would you like to participate in a giveaway to where we're going to give away one of your items? So maybe it's apparel, maybe it's one of these bags, maybe it's a shotgun, whatever it is. Doesn't really matter. So we're going to create this giveaway. Most likely they're going to say, well, why would I do that? Okay. And it's for two reasons that we say. The first reason is, one, we're going to create presence around your product, around your name, around your brand. So it's going to create brand recognition within our own industry. Second is, if you participate, then what we'll do is, for all the leads that we generate for that 14-day campaign or for that 30-day campaign, we will share with you. Okay. Which is pretty cool. So once we have somebody on board, we want to look for like a $300 to $400 package deal for the giveaway. Once we have one of these guys on board, then we start to reach out to everybody else. We say, hey, Mr. Dog Guy, we got Mr. Apparel over here who has a massive list. He's going to do a giveaway to one of his products, which is going to be awesome. Would you like to participate in that giveaway? And the question we always get is, well, that sounds great, but how much is it going to cost me? And we say, actually, it's free. All we ask is that you send a couple emails. Send an email on Tuesday and send an email on Thursday to the giveaway. And they're like, okay, well, what's the point? Like, what would be the winning factor here? And the winning factor is, well, we'll share the leads that come in. So you might push in 13,000 or 15,000 leads, but we got 4 other companies that are joining us for this giveaway that are also going to be pushing in leads. So we might be sending you a CSV of 50,000 to 75,000 leads. That's how we do it. So we create this circle, right? And what's cool is we're in the middle of it. So we're not only making these big connections, people are getting to know us, we're doing them a massive favor because they think it's going to cost, right? Everybody who calls them is saying, hey, I'll get you number 1 on Google. I'll get you number 1 on Facebook, or I'll sell your product even faster and quicker and blah, blah, blah. We're calling up and say, we'll do it for free. Like, we're here for you. And they're just like blown away by that because no one's calling them telling them they're going to do a free service. So how we win is when this happens, okay? When this is all put together and the first day goes out to the last day of that contest, we also get the leads. So we've just, in 14 days, made a list of 10,000 people, 20,000 people. Our biggest campaign going on right now is 150,000 people in 14 days. So we brought in 140,000. We had over 200 million sends is what we did. So it was an impression, 200 million emails of all these companies. I think it was like 7 companies we put together. They all sent within a 14-day period to a giveaway, a $400 giveaway. We shared all the leads with everybody else, and then we also gained the leads ourselves. So we increased our database by 150,000 leads. If you go to Google and buy those same leads, you're looking at $1 to $1.50. So realistically, we just gave ourselves a $200,000 budget from those leads for free. All it took was a phone call, right? And that phone call doesn't cost much, just your time, which is pretty rare.
Well, it's a pretty innovative strategy, and I think that there's going to be a lot of people who are interested in checking this out. I want to move on to the actual funnel strategy. So, okay, you gathered all of the products from all of the different companies that are going to be participating. They understand exactly how they're going to be benefiting from this. Are you using a viral giveaway software? Are you simply using ClickFunnels? Could we talk about those mechanics?
Yeah, that's all we use. It's very simple. It's not complex. A lot of people like to go out and use complex softwares. We use ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels works seamlessly. Actually, on one of our mastermind calls, I was showing a guy this, and he came back a week later. He was using, I'm not going to say the name, but another very known giveaway software, and ClickFunnels was beating it by an opt-in, by twofold. So he was getting 30% with the other software. We got him 70 to 80% opt-ins with the ClickFunnels squeeze page. So yeah, so it's really simple. We keep it extremely easy. And there's still one missing piece here. So here you have your opt-in. So basically we're asking for, hey, what's the opt-in? Give us your email. You're going to get this really cool prize that's worth, $300 or whatever. And then they come in and then we send them to the thank you page. But what's cool about this is we don't use a generic thank you page on ClickFunnels. We are actually, what we're doing is as soon as they hit the submit button, they're being redirected to an affiliate offer. Okay? And this is another big win for us because as soon as an email comes in, we're selling them. All right. The email comes in, we're selling them. So we're taking them directly to an affiliate offer. Now this affiliate offer has to be congruent with the audience. So if we're selling to, hunters or we're selling to preppers or survivalists or whoever, or gardeners or motocross people or whatever, the offer has to be congruent. Okay. To whatever they're opting into. So then anyways, what we're looking for anywhere between 10 cents for every email we receive for that payout, or we've seen it up to 25 cents per email so far in some of our contests. So if you have 100,000 leads come in 14 days, you just made 25 grand cash, and that's for you. That's only you, right? We're not splitting that with anybody else because we're putting all the work together. We're putting all these systems together. We're putting it, making everything work. So that's for you. Okay. So then well, there you go. You can go pay your bills now. But the other thing is if it's making 10 cents per email, it's about $10,000 for every 100,000 emails you get, or for every 10,000, $1,000. You can do that easy math. But that's how we're making instant cash, and we're currently doing that in our company today. So again, this is not theory. This is actually done. This is logical. This is like we're in the system. It's amazing. So that's the funnel. That's the first piece. So I think your question was, what comes after this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything you want to share with us about the funnel, feel free.
Oh, you love the funnel stuff. So do I. I'm a funnel geek, right? We geek out on this stuff. So what's cool about this, that's the first step, right? That's the first kind of like 15 days. And it's cool. Like you might just be okay with this, making 10 grand to 25 grand. That'll change people's lives today, which is really awesome. Now, if you want to take this to a step forward, now, my friend, you have 100,000 leads or even like 10,000 leads. Like that's still a big amount of leads for free. That's like someone giving you $10,000 and saying, hey, this is worth this. This is a bar of gold. Now go sell the bar of gold. Okay. So what I love about this is we have that 100,000 email list. So we've created a database for ourselves. So we have this massive database that's just sitting for us. And I like to use, an email. So we'll start sending out emails. And what I want to do is I want to sell products. The easiest product to sell for an internal offer, so your affiliate offer is going to be an external offer, somebody that pays you. An internal offer is where you collect the money. So the best thing I like to do is sell them a physical good. And I will email them. Okay, I'll email them questionnaires. I'll ask them survey questions. I want to get to know them a little bit. Hey, man, how old are you? Where are you from? Where are you calling in from? Where are you emailing from? I'd really like to get to know you. What really got you in this niche? Why do you love soccer so much? Why do you love whatever we're talking about, right? And then secondly, hey, if I could ask you a really cool favor, I want you to go to your closet right now while you're reading this email. I know this sounds strange, but go do it. And I want you to pick out that shirt, that one t-shirt that you would pull from a dirty laundry basket, and it smells, it's stinky, but it's like your number one t-shirt that you don't give a rat's booty, right? And you're just going to put that on, right? And you're going to love it. Now I want you to take a picture of that and send it to me. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start building a portfolio of all these t-shirts that they just love. And there's going to be stuff that kind of rises, like the design. What is it? Is it text or is it logos? What is it, right? Are they polos? Are they t-shirts? Are they long sleeve sweatshirts? Whatever. So you're gonna find similarities to all these pictures that are coming in, which gives you a good reference of what kind of t-shirt you can sell them. A t-shirt is probably one of the easiest premium items to sell because people know what it is, right? You don't have to create a long sales letter for it. It's a t-shirt. And it's like, here's the design, right? When you go into JCPenney's or Macy's or I don't know, the Buckle or Express or whatever, and you see a t-shirt, there's not a sales page that comes with that, right? You look up, you know what I'm talking about. You look up, you're like, this looks cute on me. This is good, right? I'll buy it. Boom, transaction done. That's it. So that's exactly what we're doing. So we're saying, hey, what kind of shirt do you love? What kind of phrases? Like, give me some phrases that you love in this niche. Like, what's something that you're always saying, right? We did that for the fishing niche. We'll do that for the hunting niche. We'll do that for the car niche. all that stuff. We'll get these phrases. And then what we do, next step, is we go to, this is who we currently use. So hopefully they're still in business by the time you watch this. But we go to 99designs.com. So we'll go over to 99designs.com and we'll choose the cheapest one. We'll choose, I think it's like $199. Probably after seeing this video, they'll probably raise the price, but hopefully not. So $199. And what happens here is all these great Adobe Photoshop experts come in and they start taking your phrase and they start taking your designs and starts putting it together and start making like designs and stuff. Now, if you do this, don't get freaking scared because the first designs like are really crappy. You look like your 4-year-old could build something different, right? Or better. And that's okay. The better ones are coming. A few key concepts here is we keep the giveaway open, which means all of the designers can see everybody else's design. And that's really big. They hate that, but it's gonna be a benefit for you. The second thing is we guarantee. It's called guaranteeing the project, which means we're going to do a payout. So no matter if we get bad designs or good designs or we just don't pick one, we're still going to pay out somebody. Just doing those two things, you're going to get better designs and you're going to have more designers come into the project. You should expect 40 to 100 designs from this. The other thing is don't give anybody a 5-star, okay? Don't give anybody a 5-star. Only give them 4 stars or less. Once you give somebody a 5-star, all the other designers see that as they won. And you don't want that because then everybody stops designing. So and even the bigger ones come in, they think that. So don't give anybody 5 stars. All right. So we'll get that design, and then here's what we do: is we ask them to put it on a black T-shirt. Okay. So what we do is we tell them, hey, give us an example, and we'll screenshot that. And then what we do is we put this on a banner, on a picture. We take 3 of the best ones that we feel are great. And we put a little letter above them, A, B, or C. And we email this image out, okay? We'll email that image out. We say, hey, respond with which T-shirt would you, this is very important, which T-shirt would you buy? A lot of people will say, which T-shirt would you wear? And that's a big difference in a question. Which one would you buy versus which one would you wear? So when you say buy, they're going to tell you which one they're okay buying. Or if they'll say, hey, none of those are worth buying. Like they suck, right? Or they'll be like, C, love C. Tell me where I can get C. Like, I love that one. Like, I'll pay you right now. Where's my money? That's the best thing when you get those little things like, take my money now. So what they're going to do is you're going to get responses in your email, and they're going to say, hey, C. So now you know the best T-shirt to launch. Because now this is a market-first approach versus a product-first approach. Because with the product, I would have actually selected none of these. I would have selected another one, and I would have sent it out because I loved it, right? It was my design. I'm like, man, you're going to look good on this. This is going to look good on you. And they'd be like, man, that's going to look awful on me because I don't have the eye of them. So that's very important. So that's that step. And then we start the emails. Then we start sending out emails to this list, this 10,000 list or the 100,000 list, whatever we built. And we start doing a launch. We'll do a 7-day launch into the T-shirts themselves and start selling them through ClickFunnels. Does that make sense?
That makes a ton of sense. And actually, you've pretty much walked us through most of the questions that I had since you gave, an overview of the entire 30 days. So that's great.
That's it. It's simple, right? But the thing is like a lot of people will see this, well, that's too simple. It's so simple, it'll never work, right? I'm telling you, we're doing this right now. We're making a ton of money from it, and you can too. And yes, it is simple as this. We used to do all kinds of crazy stuff, but we've taken it down. We've taken it and simplified it to this exact chapter. And this is our plan. This is our SOP, right? This is what we follow, and it works.
Well, Trey, we're actually coming up on the end of our time for this interview, so I'd love to just open the floor to you and ask if there's any other final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience about your 30-day plan.
Yeah, there's a big statement here. And the statement I always like to tell everybody that I come in contact with is it's not just about a funnel in Facebook, okay? A business is not just about a funnel in Facebook. From what I've seen and what I've learned and what I've been through, there's so much more in the world and there's so much opportunity out there. It expands from that. It's a great starting place, but just know, like when I'm doing those opt-ins, we're asking for phone numbers. So I'm now calling people. I'm now direct mailing people. I'm getting on the phone and talking to these guys. I'm texting them. I'm sending them offers. And outside of those funds, and then we're doing joint ventures with people. So just know there's so much opportunity if you're hitting a wall and saying, man, there's there's just no more buyers on Facebook for me. Man, Facebook's not the only place, right? Or Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're at. Like, that's just one channel, one resource. There's just so much out there, and don't ever forget that.
Fantastic advice, Trey. We really do appreciate all of the awesome value that you've shared with us on this interview today. For those of you at home who are thinking you would love to embark on your own 30-day path to success, I have something awesome to share with you. It is called the One Funnel Away Challenge. You can learn more about it and upgrade today by clicking the button on this page. You're going to get an opportunity to work directly with a ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club coach to craft a customized and personalized 30-day plan to success and getting your next award-winning funnel launched. But that's not all you'll be receiving when you upgrade. You are also going to get some awesome bonuses, including a physical copy of the 30-Day Summit book, which contains all of the 30-day plans contributed by every single one of the speakers on this event. You're going to get unlimited access to the interview that you just saw with Trey, and of course, all of the other Summit speakers on this event. And my favorite part, you are also going to be getting a second interview that I recorded with every single speaker on this event, where we're going behind the scenes and they are showing me via screen share how it is that they have set up their own 2 Comma Club funnels. The value inside of those videos is absolutely out of this world, and I do not want you to miss out on that. So make sure that you click the button on this page to learn more about the One Funnel Away Challenge and upgrade today. And Trey, one more time, thank you so much for being a part of the 30-Day Summit. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bailey. Appreciate it.